in California or Los Angeles when it comes to this issue. So when it comes to fire prevention, dealing with these encampments appropriately is also part of the equation, but people are afraid to even talk about that.
Zach,
What's going on, you guys? Today we have Ana Kasparian completely trashing the less fortunate. The Vanguard is calling her out for her terribleness and her inhumaneness. Let's get into it.
if you want to scroll forward to the next timestamp, there's another interesting moment that I'm excited to get your reaction to.
Look, the other thing I'm going to bring up, and I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for this, but it's just the truth. It is the truth. And I am just desperate for something to be done about it.
She looks like she's going to cry.
I had to evacuate. So I evacuate to where you think it's going to be safe, in the middle of the San Fernando Valley, where I grew up, Reseda, California. Okay. But then there was an encampment fire, a giant encampment fire that threatened the neighborhood I was staying in. There are encampment fires daily, dozens of them daily. Add that to high winds, add that to dry conditions. And I mean, you're just creating the worst possible situation. People are terrified. No one is safe in California or Los Angeles when it comes to this issue. So when it comes to fire prevention, dealing with these encampments appropriately is also part of the equation, but people are afraid to even talk about that.
And Zach, I would, and because maybe this is a real issue. I'm not Angelino. What do you think she means by dealing with the encampments appropriately? Because I have a feeling that's not a very humane response that she's talking about. I just have a feeling.
Yeah, you know, you ever watch a bulldozer come into the jungle and just start clearing out all of the forest, and you know, you hear the monkeys and parrots and all of the creatures of the jungle that just run and hide. You know, that's Anna's vision for what they're going to do to every homeless encampment in the United States, particularly starting in Southern California. Ana, you are supposed to be hosting a progressive news show. You are supposed to put your POV alongside regular ass Americans and also, yes, the most vulnerable Americans, i.e. the unhoused. Why are they burning fires? Why are they burning fires outside? Gavin, do you think most of these homeless folks, I won't speak for all of them, nobody's a monolith, but if they had a nice warm bed and an apartment to go and cook food inside and a good place to sleep, do you think they'd be burning fires? You think they would be cooking?
Here the Vanguard makes an excellent point, really calling out the inhumaneness of Ana Kasparian as far as why is she complaining about the fires? Why is she complaining about the homeless people in the area? Yes, it is a problem. We're not here to say that it is not a problem at all. The Vanguard is not saying that it's not an issue by any means necessary. As far as what is going on, why is it happening? Are we going to blame the less fortunate for what's going on? Or are we still wanting to help them? Are we still looking at it in the bigger picture of this is a systematic issue? Let's get upset at the ones who are causing them to be homeless in the first place. These systems, not even who, but what systems are in place to cause them to be homeless in the first place. Or are we going to blame it on the ones that are actually victim blame, the ones that are caught in the system? Vanguard's doing it perfectly, calling out the inhumaneness in Ana Kasparian.
Shit outside? No, they don't have anywhere else to go. Ana, what do you want them to do? Throw them in jail? That's what you want. She wants them to all be rounded up. Let's put them in a camp somewhere in the desert. Yeah, let's round them all up and put them where they can't be seen or heard from.
And that's not even hyperbole. That was Rick Caruso's plan, to set up a concentration camp in the desert 50 miles outside of Los Angeles where all the homeless people were going to get shuttled off to. Like, that's literally what their solution to the issue is. But yeah, it's totally crazy. I mean, I feel like the next thing out of her mouth is going to be, you know what else is a big issue? All these people lighting up marijuana cigarettes outside with these winds. Do you really want all these kids lighting up marijuana, spreading embers, spreading sparks? Seems like a bad idea, Zach. I think we need to crack down on the legalization of cannabis. I think we need to, roll that back.
Oh, and all of these criminals, because let's not forget, it's criminals who ran the marijuana industry, Gavin. Do you think they're going to be the most prone to follow the book? Huh? No, they'll be up there with all of their dried amber and their AR-59s and 69s and specials and all of that jazz, and they'll be loading up their doobies and their stogies and whatnot, and boom. Okay, that's the last you ever heard of Los Angeles. Okay, thanks to the gangs, the criminals, the homeless, and the dope smokers. Gavin's right. We need to start a movement.
That's who started the fire. It was the legalization movement.
Oof.
If it weren't for all these roaches and joints and blunts out there, being left in the dry, arid climate, I don't think we would have had this fire. I think Donald Trump's first initiative needs to be the total rollback of all medical and recreational cannabis legalization. Zach, it's the only solution to this issue.
This man has the answers. You'll see him on Fox and Friends.
I would be a hit. I mean, wouldn't that talking point be a huge hit on the Fox 5?
I'm worried that you're going to get plagiarized. I'm worried that there's an enterprising conservative out there who's about to steal your thunder. All right, everybody keep your eyes peeled, because Sagar, I don't know, maybe that's going to be another reason that you pick up the anti-pot.
These guys are hilarious. The Vanguard is calling out Ana Kasparian perfectly. I mean, they might as well. They haven't even said the Karen word yet, but they might as well call her a Karen. And I mean, he's saying, I think that Fox News actually does make that a speaking point of, they are blaming the less fortunate. Again, they're blaming the victims of these systems for the fires in the first place. Let's put the blame on the brunt. Let's put it on the scapegoat. We always have a scapegoat, and we have Ana Kasparian, who is really falling completely into their grip. She is falling directly into whatever they're saying. I don't even think that she is having any critical thought at this point. I believe that she has been swept up into a right-wing system of thought, a conservative train of thought. And we might have, she might have lost herself. I think that, I don't know why it happened or what the reason is. I'm still wanting to find out myself. But yeah, I believe that Ana Kasparian has completely she's been foxed. She has gotten boomerfied for sure. Keep on watching.
Crusade.
I'm just saying, California was the first state to really legalize marijuana, and it seems like they've been dealing with pretty big fires ever since. I think there's a connection here, guys.
I mean, Jake, am I wrong for bringing this up?
Am I wrong, dude? Am I wrong?
The wildlife preserve near me, or reserve, I should say, near me, has been lit on fire dozens of times over the last year alone.
Yeah. So no, that's just, there's nothing wrong with what you're saying. So look, guys, the PG&E has been the cause of most of the most amount of fires that we have tracked. Okay, that doesn't mean they're the only source of fires. And unfortunately, do homeless folks who are almost always the fire started by someone who's hooked on drugs. They're starting it for the drugs because you cook.
Bro, you were right. You were right. It's the doobie smokers. They're getting their little spoons bent, and then they're lighting their little fires. Only responsible people, like people with homes, Gavin. All these dummies that are poor and they can't afford rent prices in California. They're so dumb that they just set things on fire. They meant to light their crack pipes, but actually they just covered a couch with kerosene and shoved it into a Walmart parking lot.
That's crazy. I actually had not seen that. I only saw the Anna thing where she was talking about the homeless shit. I did not hear Jake's response, so I had no idea he was about to segue into that. But that's an incredible, I guess, coincidence, prediction, whatever you want to call it.
What did I say, Gavin? Some enterprising conservatives out there that's going to hear that strategy and they're going to be right there to run with it.
Also, fucking stupid talking point. I'm pretty sure that in reality, most of I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but in a homeless encampment, most people would be starting fires either to stay warm or to cook. I mean, I'm sure drugs are being taken in a homeless camp. I'm not denying that.
And it really doesn't even matter how the fire is starting, more or less. It doesn't matter whether it's starting because of drugs. Doesn't matter whether it's starting because of any type of, whatever it's going on. It's the fact that there are so many homeless out there. And why are these systems just not looking? Why are they not taking care of these homeless? Why are the less fortunate? Why is that even an issue? why instead of asking that, no, we're going to go with let's blame the less fortunate. Let's already pile it on somebody who is already a victim to the system, to this terrible, to the system the way it's set up. Let's continue to put the blame on them more. Let's not even want to understand where they're coming from at all. That's the train of thought that is toxic and despicable and inhumane.
But I think obviously most people traditionally, stereotypically, homeless people, when they like light a fire in a trash can or something, like that's to stay warm or to like cook food or something, not to like light their joint or their fucking crack pipe.
Some of the drugs. Has that been a major source of fire here in LA over the last half a decade to a decade? Absolutely. Anyone who says
major source of fire is people doing drugs, Gavin,
that's not true is just literally indisputably lying to you. And
so there we go, you guys. We have the Vanguard tearing apart Ana Kasparian, tearing apart Cenk Uygur. And yeah, it is. I mean, it's exactly what we see it. It's Cenk Uygur and we have Ana Kasparian. They've completely got boomerified. The Vanguard is having to call it out. It's a sad day for the Young Turks. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's another day in the progressive way.